Woohoo! You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
FedTech Nebo?
Yeah. I sent him a message on the Telegram.
Just now?
No, before. He viewed it. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Camshi, how about you? Can you hear us? Not getting any audio.
Hello? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Good.
So look, if you guys want to turn your cameras on, cool. If this is going to be relatively interactive, or at least we would like it to be. If you're not comfortable with that, that's fine too. Really, your level of comfort. But obviously, my name's Anthony, and this is AJ. So we've been talking about this, how we wanted to do this first AMA. We kind of hand selected 8 people. That we felt have been contributors to the community and really kind of see a vision that, that we're really trying to get out there, that have been involved, that have been there kind of early on from the start, and we wanted to make it a little bit of a smaller kind of intimate first meeting with some of you guys that have really kind of taken to this community and really been, I think, an integral part in getting this thing off the ground. And I know one of the big things that were coming up was, are these guys going to reveal themselves? Are these guys going to, come out and dox themselves? So, the first one that we wanted to do as far as a, kind of AMA and was more of an intimate thing, with a smaller group so that we could talk a little bit more about what our idea is, where we think this can go, and what we like kind of our just vision overall for the project, and give you guys an idea that, okay, there are faces, behind this. We are real people, and we do kind of share a very strong vision for where this could go over the next, years. Like, we believe this to be a huge project. So AJ and I, just a quick background on us, we've been business partners for the past, 10 plus years. And if anybody else jumps in the room, then great. If not, we're recording this and, we could put it out there, but, we're going to do more of these as we get going. But AJ and I have been business partners for, now at this point, over 10 years. Our background is primarily in direct sales, marketing, business development, leadership development, team building. I'm here in New York City. AJ's in South Jersey, right outside Philadelphia, and we've been involved in the crypto space just as investors, as holders. We've been involved with communities. And our whole thing is, if we get excited about a project, we'll call up the other one and we'll say, hey, check out this token. This looks pretty cool. This looks like it's gaining traction, but over the past couple months, it's just been this saturated market of just, kind of shit coin, no real substance behind it. Everyone's got the same goal of just moonshots. And we just constantly talk about how we felt this is just this major underutilized space in the crypto world, and everyone just has an idea that's based on an animal, a fad, an anime, with the same goal to the moon. It's the same branding. It's the same bullshit all over, and our ideas eventually, kind of evolved, to what if we can use this crypto space, to almost crowdfund and fuel actual investments in the real world or other valuable cryptos that can eventually gain profits over time and spill back into the community to strengthen the community. So actually creating something that isn't based solely on supply and demand, but is actually has assets and backing, and drawing a new type of crowd into this space. And not someone that's just looking to make a quick buck, not someone that's just looking to go, 100 or 1,000x because it's the fad meme at the time, or relying on, a celebrity to come out and tweet about it before it can take some real momentum. So we think that this particular concept and this idea of a token used as a utility is, is a kind of hybrid that hasn't been done before. And the more AJ and I talk about it, the more we believe this can continue to spin off into new and exciting things that has never been, really kind of perceived within the crypto space before. And some of the feedback that we're getting from even some of the marketing agencies that we're talking to is, wow, this is a very unique concept. We haven't seen anything like this before. So we're getting reinstilled confidence by talking about this with people that we think are going to help, kind of build this brand and kind of take it to the next level. And of course, we want to do more with the community. Of course, we want to get more out there. Our major focus right now are efforts into marketing and really taking June to build the brand and expand that upon, multiple platforms. Tamshi, like, we really appreciate what you did with the Discord. Like, we thought that was awesome. Like, you put that together in a blink of an eye, and that was amazing, and the passion that we've seen from this community, and we've seen it come up several times in conversations in the Telegram, is that we think this is going to attract a very different type of investor into the crypto space market. Not people that are just out there, shilling and blasting on, social media forums, but people who are actually looking to invest in something that's got almost the centralized concept of being ran like a business with real leadership behind it, that is actually going to take it to new heights and new levels. So, I mean, we're pumped about it. We talk about this thing till we're falling asleep on the phone every night, and constantly coming up with new ways and new ideas that we can bring this to market and really get explosive with it. But, this is week one. We know we're still in infancy stages. We're looking at building out, a timeline of where we can be by the end of June, over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, and what we can do to kind of attract the right type of people. And a big part of our marketing efforts is going to be educating the community about the tokenomics that we believe are genius, behind this project, and really showing people through animated shorts and a number of other things that are going to be able to explain the concepts that get people to understand the value of getting this, holding this, and knowing that it's going to lead to purchasing an asset that's going to pay back a profit over time, to back into the community. And that portfolio is going to continue to build, which is only going to create and inflate a higher liquidity and back the token itself. So, I mean, we're really excited about it. We definitely are open to taking some questions, from you guys, talking more about it. But I mean, AJ, is there anything you kind of want to add?
No, I mean, I just love the idea of having, this hybrid token that's, centralized business and just being so fueled by this underutilized DeFi world, and, combining the two to really make something that's like, it's going to be huge. It's going to be powerful. So I'm excited to see where this goes. So any questions from you guys?
Yeah, I have written down a few. You might have seen them in the FUK the fact notes I put down on Discord, right? Just some general questions for the other people. Like, I've read the answers, right? But it might be handy for other people who might watch this later to know these kind of things. Like marketing, like what does it entail? When do we start? All that kind of stuff. Like, what's the vision there? Like you said, you mentioned some shorts animations. I really like that because I've been a freelancer in video and 3D motion graphics, etc. So that seems very interesting to me.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do some videos on how the tokenomics actually works, to really get into that kind of that space that people are just visual learners. Right now, we got a few things that are actually launching tomorrow, and it's just basic, just crypto type marketing with the Telegram drops. Going after, having influencers. So that's just like short term. We've been talking to a bunch of agencies that are literally crypto marketing agencies, and they are, even today we were on the Zoom, like they were excited about the project. Like, wow, like this has never been done, a utility token like that. And they even said, like, hey, the biggest thing you have to do is really educate people that this is a a centralized business that's just being fueled by DeFi and on the DeFi market. And if you can get past that hurdle, then, I mean, they were like, hey, the sky's the limit. And that was coming from agencies. So, but very short term right now with everything that's going on. I think obviously with it launching tomorrow, we're going to see a big, hopefully a big kick over the weekend. And then once we get this really panned out and, pick an agency that we're going to go with, most of the timelines for that too, they're like, hey, 2 or 3 weeks to come up with the strategy and to really get it out into market.
Yeah, in terms of other, little droplets of marketing that we're looking to really kind of do over the next couple of days, we're working on a couple press releases, writing out the content that we can have a company put together and spill out into different forums and different, avenues. We're definitely looking over the next, couple of weeks at community management. We're looking at, obviously social media management and engagement. So, we're looking at what we're going to need to do to kind of develop and build, the right kind of team around us, over the next, few weeks to a few months, that are going to be able to be a lot more, involved and hands-on and continuously, kind of pumping brand awareness, and, again, like we're treating this like it's our own business, that we want to get off the ground. We don't just want to go out there and shill coin. We want to be able to go out there and actually build a brand that people are going to be able to recognize and understand what it is. And I think being able to create some of those animated digital explainer videos that explain the tokenomics and it explains the relationship of the wallets and how that works, and how money goes out to purchase an investment, see an increase with that investment over time, and then funnel it back into the community where everybody obviously benefits as holders. That's a concept that is just not out there. There's nothing like it out there in the space. So I think a big part of this that's going to get people to look beyond just the surface level of, okay, what's portfolio token, is really understanding the tokenomics and really understanding what you can do with it, right? And the possibilities with it are just, it's endless. It's really limitless with what you can do with it over time as this continues to grow and build. So we're not expecting to, kind of turn this into something, overnight. We're looking to be methodical. We, one of the agencies that we met with was just, I mean, we thought they were trash, to be honest with you. We didn't really like the quality of what they were showing us, so if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. We have an idea for a cinematic, type of movie trailer advertisement that we want to put out there. So
Can you give that description right now? Because I think this is genius. I love this, and I can't wait. If there's anybody that's involved in the community that could kind of direct, the direction of who would need to do something like this.
I was about to ask, like, how much are you planning to let the community get involved with everything like this?
I love the community. There's every time I'm talking to one of these agencies, I'm just like, if you see this community, if you dropped into this Discord and this Telegram, like unreal, so if we can keep it in the family, I would love to, for sure. But
look, the community speaks to a big part of what our background is in terms of team building, leadership development, working with people. That's what we've been doing for the past 10 years. Like, we're into it. We love it. We're good at it. So we absolutely want to hear from the community, because we know community is what drives, a brand. We understand, especially in the crypto space, the community is everything. And with all these other, cryptos out there, if there is no community, there's no hype behind the coin, and now there's no value to the coin. So so it's a huge benefit, obviously, to continue to get involved with the community, and we absolutely want to, but even more so than that, the concept of the tokenomics itself is going to actually build beyond community, because there will be actual assets, that portfolio will hold, that will continue to rise in value over time and continue to pay those profits back to the community, which will only incentivize people drawn to the community, right? So we think it's something that's going to be absolutely revolutionary. We think it's going to be huge. We definitely want the community involved as much as possible, but we want the right people, involved, as much as possible, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I hear you talk about the community and the assets and the investments, right? So one of the questions I wrote down was, how will it be decided what assets will be invested in, or what coins will be invested in? One person of the community mentioned a few coins like Ethereum, Let me pull it up actually. Hold on. I have it here somewhere. I think I told you guys in the Discord as well. Let me check.
But I mean, just to kind of answer that, I definitely think that there's, when this gets going, there's going to be a portion, obviously, of what we do, because it's community driven, that's going to be community decided. I think early on, the investments that we're going to be, be making are going to be, coins that obviously have value, that are, wanted worldwide: Bitcoin, Ethereum,
Ethereum, Cardano, BNB,
for sure, something like that.
Yeah.
And also looking at it saying, hey, if I buy this here, where's it going to go? Looking at, Bitcoin when it's 50,000 and investing into it just because it's Bitcoin, knowing that, it's going to get to 100,000 by a certain timeline. And these are all just obviously numbers that people throw around in predictions, but also looking at saying, hey, can I buy Ethereum at $3,000? And then knowing that's going to get to $20,000 is going to be so much more of a return, so I think that's going to be really the key. We'll for sure get to a point where it's community driven in decisions. That is 100% the goal.
Yeah. So if I understand it correctly, in the start, you guys will make the decision, and then later on you will shift it to the community, or is the plan to start off with the community from the start?
I think the goal would be just to kind of get it going, so like Ethereum probably over time, and Bitcoin just in the beginning, but then
it seems like Ethereum would give the greatest return.
The greatest return. Yeah. So like that, it's for me that like, that's just smart. And like I said, this is a utility token that I think has endless possibilities. Anything that we can physically buy that is going to give a return. Like I would love, like I'm a huge Grant Cardone fan as far as like how he just treats real estate. And I for sure know that one day we'll be at the point where we're investing with like Cardone Capital, and that's something where obviously you're putting money into a pool. They're literally buying apartment buildings and getting a guaranteed check every month that for this would just go back into the community. So and that's just like a few ideas. I'm sure that this community is going to come up with a million different things that we're going to be able to do over time. And as the community grows, it's just going to get to the point where we start voting on things.
Yeah, what we want to avoid initially is people being able to come in and just shill the next, like what they think is the next big coin, and kind of just silly investments. Obviously we're looking for like the closest thing to surefire bets that we know are going to continue to increase, and rise in value. So obviously we think that needs management. We think that needs leadership. We think that needs, sound voices, and I think if we can, offer options, of positive choices, and then, drive that to the community via polls, I mean, there's 1,000 different ways that we can go about getting the community's voices being heard and stuff that we can do. And as we continue to grow the community, that's where we're looking at, okay, we need to start formulating, the right voices in leadership that are going to help drive this thing in the direction that we want it to go. So we're not looking for people to just come in and say, okay, but buy, Moon Pirate because it's, it's going here. Like we're definitely looking to be as smart and intelligent with the investments as possible, so that way we know we're doing the community a service. And more importantly, I think in the process, we're building culture, with this brand that's going to be designed to attract a higher caliber person than the typical, individual just hanging around in the crypto sphere, looking to, shill each other's coins. I mean, I can't tell you how many forums that, we visited where people are posting, I got $100 to throw into the next shit coin. What should I throw into? Well, we're not a shit coin. We don't plan to be, and we want something more than that. And I think that being able to in turn build the brand along with building the community and doing it the right way and having strong leadership that can steer this in a direction that everyone can win and everyone can benefit from. And the ideas that we have of what this can evolve into over time as this grows is, I mean, in our minds, and we've been doing the research, like unprecedented. Like there's never been anything with this type of utility, done in any crypto out there. I mean, this truly is like a hybrid of, of like, centralized, like, business and leadership in business, combined with the, like, the DeFi utility, that, this is going to continue to benefit everyone as the community grows. So we're looking to do it smart. We're not looking to, make any, kind of fast-paced, stupid decisions. We're looking to be as strategic and as methodical as possible. We want professionals that are going to get involved, that are going to help market and create the branding that we want, that we think is going to continue to build long-term holders over time.
Can you
that
guys hear me?
that definitely sounds great. I hear Liquid has a question as well.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say kudos. Well done on the idea. Now it's about bringing it into reality. One of the biggest challenges I found is, from a business perspective, how do you create an environment where you're generating profit that you can use to pay staff to pursue the vision, that isn't just handing them tokens and then running the risk of a major dump at some point? And I think with your asset acquisition, that leads to an opportunity to generate further income for the business, to hire the right people and pay them without running the risk of them just taking all their tokens and, oh, it's high today, I'm going to dump, and everybody jumps on board and crashes the money system. I mean, that's the big problem with the renouncing of contracts and all the crap we're seeing, is everybody just created the token. Well, they did it to make money, right? No one gets into business to lose money or to not generate anything. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on funding the business itself without creating impacts on the holders.
I think that there's going to, as it grows, I think that this idea is so new, where, we have like, 5% going into this little wallet, and, we're going to take 60% to buy assets and then, return that to the community, but obviously as this thing grows, 5% of that could be, paying staff. And, I think that if everyone gets, just as excited as we did over the first week of this thing growing, and has the vision that we do, then, that 5% paying a few staff members to look at the next future of assets and be in front of things like that, that'll be plenty. We're, every transaction's paying into a wallet that's going to fuel the business. So nothing like that has been done, because it's either 5% goes to everyone, the other 5% gets locked up, or we're going to donate the other 5% when the business does need something. We're going to have to dip into the liquidity pool a little bit, and all that has negative impacts on the actual, tokenomics. Where this is, hey, this is being put aside to then run the business and then purchase assets. And I mean, even buying Ethereum, at $3,000, knowing that it's going to grow, that's 1 week, week over week over week over week over week of that paying back into, I truly believe that there's going to be plenty to stabilize this the way it needs to be stabilized to keep growing.
Awesome. So just a little bit of my background for you. So I'm in urban planning and economic development in municipal government. So basically city building and building the economics and environment in the cities and how people interact with that. I do a lot of work with developers, large scale developers. Now you'd mentioned one platform where you can invest and they'll go into a pool, they'll buy rental space somewhere and then collect rent and pay back. Have you had any thoughts into actual land development yourself?
Anthony's smiling because, before we got on this call, we're like, look, as long as you can turn around and purchase something he knows is going to increase in value and eventually can be sold and pay back the community, the results are endless. And he was bringing up land and development. So it's funny you say that, and just goes to prove our point that there's going to be a million things that are going to come up over time that you're just going to be like, man, that's such a great idea. We can use this to, to get involved in that space.
Mm-hmm. There's also, Elon's latest tweet tank in the market with the whole Bitcoin's not so green thing. There's a lot of opportunity, I think, in developing the infrastructure that's going to help bring crypto into the mainstream. I mean, it's not going to get to that mainstream level until, the person behind the counter at the coffee shop knows how to accept crypto as a payment for the coffee and understands it at a working level in their daily lives. To get there is going to require substantial amount of energy, substantial amount of mining. I know there's mining operations that are being set up where you can lease out the hardware, lease a space in the mining operation. That might be something as well to consider in the future of developing a large scale, environmentally friendly mining operation that can be leased out to people that want to get involved in it, and generate significant capital while providing the infrastructure necessary to move the business and the whole crypto sphere forward.
I totally agree, because that's how I got involved in this space was, was mining and building a little miner and then looking into ASIC miners and just seeing that, hey, is it better to own the property of the ASIC miner? Obviously that you're getting 2-3 times returns on your investment, versus like cloud mining and getting involved in a space like that where, if you really do the math on it, you're like, it doesn't even make sense for me to do this sometimes because the person that owns the equipment is making most of the money. Obviously cloud mining, and then over time it will as it grows, which is, the whole point of this. But for sure, like that would be, and that's such a, a space that is untouched. And like, even, bringing up Elon saying, hey, I'm not getting back involved in this, this Bitcoin until, it's greener than it is. That's putting a name with an entire industry that is like the #1 crypto in the world, and they just opened up a space to get involved with.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring up a really good point when it comes to like your background of like this large scale development, and eco-friendly things. I mean what's exciting about this is that and AJ and I kind of talk about this incessantly, is that this can fuel the potential to fuel so many other industries over time. As we continue to evolve this and build it to scale, it could spill over into so many other things. So the possibilities, I think, are endless, and it's very exciting about where it could be. And when you think about the community, I think eventually getting to a point where we're getting ready to release, okay, these are the things that we're looking at investing in this week, and I think it can evolve just far beyond other cryptocurrencies. And I think that's going to just attract so many more people. It's going to keep the community constantly engaged, because we're constantly having these new updates and announcements of, okay, what's the next investment? How are we growing the portfolio? What other new spaces can we spill out into, over time? So the potential for it, we think, is, totally revolutionary. We're so excited about it. And, the biggest thing for us in this is, obviously it's small. We invited 8 people, with the personal invite, and obviously there are people all over the world, so not everybody can make it. But we just wanted to, at least for a few of the people that we felt were very relevant to the community and the community's growth early on, and at least sharing a vision of what this could be, actually being able to show that there is a face behind the name, and that we are like very serious about what we can do with this, and we are very serious about what this could become, and we're wholeheartedly invested into this project, and we believe in what this could be. I mean, we believe this could be a game changer.
And one final comment / question for you. I'm relatively new to the crypto space. I've been in business for quite some time, over 20 years, but been involved in crypto for probably about 6-8 months now. All I've heard is alt season. Alt season's coming. Just wait till Bitcoin dominance drops. Alt season's coming. Bitcoin dominance dropped to low 40s, which is pretty close to its all-time low. And alt season didn't really kick the way that everybody thought it was going to kick, or it has in the past. My theory on this is that stable coins are consumed in that alt category. So people moving their cash to stable coins decreases the Bitcoin dominance, but doesn't fuel the altcoin season that we were expecting. Additionally, there's a substantial amount of stupid money's the wrong term, but uneducated retail money that's going after, cum rockets and all these random things that are out there today, which I think has substantially decreased the effect of the alt season as well. My question is, knowing that and knowing how the financial structure of the environment's changing based on investors, what consumer archetype are you pursuing with this coin? So are we talking like going after Wall Street investors? Are we talking going after institutional money? Are we talking chasing retail money? What do you guys think your consumer archetype is?
I don't think there's going to be a, hey, we're going for this type of person. I think it's going to attract a ton of different people. And I think that, the best thing we could do is, saying in the chat, was develop a community of educating, not just pounding people for having paper hands, or, the only thing you can come up with to keep your token or your coin rising is just don't sell and have diamond hands, and being that welcoming community to educate people. And then I think that, people get in the group chat and like, hey, this is the most mature, Discord I've ever seen, or Telegram I've ever seen. I think that's a different type of person. I think that you're going to see people that get tired of those, coins that you were bringing up and those tokens that you were bringing up, and they get to the point where they're like, hey, I'm just tired of trying to, throw $100 at something and get burned, which we all have. And that's going to make something like this so much more attractive to that person. And then bringing that person into the community and saying, hey, like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. We all did, but look at this, and this is how you have to view it. And I think, going back to the community is going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest part about it.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I also think, we're really, really leaning in on being able to kind of create more of an environment that can help educate consumers, general consumers, about what this means. Because of course, with the volatility of the market, in crypto and other markets, I think people are going to realize that the smartest, long-term holds are going to be actual assets, that are going to increase in value over time. And that's what we're going after, so I think being able to, educate the community on the tokenomics, continue to talk about the vision, and not just look to, pump with the same memes and emojis that everybody else uses. I mean, I think that is just going to attract, I think, good quality, good caliber people from all different sectors that are going to say, okay, there's something different about this. These guys are onto something. This community is onto something. And I think the reinforcement of that comes from just the preliminary holders of this token. It's attracted people. Like, we did a very stealth launch. We didn't say anything. We didn't put anything out there. We didn't talk to anybody. We just did it and said, all right, let's see what happens. We just got to get this out and just kind of roll with it, and continue to talk about what our marketing plans are, to get this out. But let's see how it's perceived very early on, and let's have these preliminary conversations with people very early on. And we were just very surprised and pleasantly surprised that this has attracted, just a better quality person who's looking for something that actually has substance, and in recognizing that this concept is capable of stabilizing itself as the community begins to grow. So now, for the next few weeks, our focus is just, all of our efforts are going to be on marketing. We want to get people, we want to get it out there. We want to get the brand out there, and we're going to get those, those shillers and all those people that are, who paper hands, or whatever you want to refer to them as. But in that process, we're also going to continue to build people like yourself, like Tamshi, like all these other people that have so much belief and passion in the project itself, and saying, hey, I've been involved in a lot of other things. This is different. And we haven't even started our first investment yet. Like, once we actually have a portfolio of investments to show people, these are the gains that were returned back to the community to strengthen the community and the tokenomics itself, I think we're just going to continue to attract more of the right kind of people, and it's just going to snowball from there.
Awesome. Finally, great job, guys. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Feel free to reach out. One last suggestion would be, from a transparency perspective, producing monthly statements or even quarterly statements, similar to what you'd see for a company that's listed on the stock exchange, identifying what assets are being held, their value, how they were acquired, profitability, all those sorts of things would go a long way to attracting those really strong investors that we're going to be looking for, and separating this project from all the crap that's out there.
I totally agree. So obviously, next thing is moving forward. We got the prelim of the audit, and then obviously, the full audit. one of the early things that we're going to invest into is the website. Yeah, I think we need a phenomenal website.
Absolutely.
I think having, an asset allocation page on the website that isn't just some tabs, but hey, like look at all these different wallets that hold Ethereum and the value of that wallet and what it was purchased at and where it is now and how much was given back. That is for sure in the vision.
Yeah,
Awesome.
talking about the website, like I think it looks great visually. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done for the website itself, of course, but you guys know that. I also know you guys are busy working on it and don't have all the time in the world to actually do it yourself. Are you planning on hiring a company to work on the website, or?
Yeah,
what's
for
the plan
sure.
there?
You want to talk about a stealth launch? Like I kind of taught myself WordPress and put that together. So yes, we're definitely going to hire a professional company to get that finished up and get it done quick. Because
Okay,
I think presence is everything.
Yeah, that brings me to the other topic. The payment of the people who will work on the website and on the videos, motion graphics, etc. Would that come directly from the token, or are you guys investing in it yourself?
Me and Anthony are like everything up to this point are all out of pocket. Not a single wallet was touched, or and right now, like a website, like I don't really plan on like looking at it and saying, hey, I have to do this. Like I'm more passionate about getting this new concept of like an idea that's going to change an industry off the ground and being and having it be successful than worry about the marketing, and that's getting kicked in tomorrow. I was out of our pocket. So it's going to get to the point where it's going to get stable, and it's going to have obviously money that can we can invest into things like that, but I'm not looking at doing that right now. We're just looking at getting it off the ground.
Yeah, for sure. So when we will invest, that will come from the token itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what effect do you think that will have on the token economics at that point? Let's say you're investing in real estate, it will be quite a chunk.
Well, I think it's all relevant because like it's scalable. Everything's a percentage. So like right now, it's 5% of all the transactions. So it's not like we're gonna have not that many transactions, but plan on pulling out $100,000 and tanking it. So it's we're not gonna see these crazy dips. Plus our goal is what
I was going to say, AJ, like that brings up the, what we were talking about before in terms of being able to obviously anticipate these things, strategically planning it out.
Yeah. So how many people that get involved in, crypto would love to know when the dip is coming? They're always just like, I got this money set aside to buy the dip. So I think our goal with it is when we pull out money to buy an asset, that is exactly when we're going to burn the tokens, right? And then what happens with that is like there will be a small dip, but we burn the token, so you'll see a red candlestick, but the tokens in your wallet are worth more, right? So it kind of balances out. So I think our goal with it is going to be to just have it as an announcement when we are actually going to pull out the money, right? So now the community itself can anticipate a dip. If anyone was ever thinking like, hey, I want to buy the next dip, they know when it's coming. Plus, that's going to attract a lot of new investors that are, looking into other tokens or, projects, and they know when it's coming. So say it's like, hey, Tuesday at 3:00 is when it's going to happen. Well, we're going to have a lot of people that are just ready to buy in at Tuesday at 3:00. So yeah, does it dip? Yes, but it recovers because everyone now knows where the dip's coming.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea and a great incentive for sure. You briefly talked about the audit. I'm just asking a few questions that have been asked in the Telegram and the Discord. What exactly is the audit and what does it mean for the coin? We're in phase 1 right now. That was successful. We're in phase 2. I believe there's 3 phases.
You could skip kind of the second phase and just go to a full-blown audit, which I think we're just going to do. So the first phase, was like, hey, let's just look at the security of the code, and obviously that passed. And then now they're going to really dig into it and obviously make sure there's nothing wrong with the code, and things along those lines, no security breaches. But I'm confident that obviously we're gonna pass that. And that to me, that's just another blanket of security that people are going to look at and be ready to to buy in.
Yeah, for sure. One of the other questions was surrounding trust wallets. When will we? I read briefly about it, but when will we be able to see the icon appear in trust wallets, the pricing, etc., fully connected? But there's a certain milestone you need to reach, right?
Yeah, it's all milestones. Someone can't make some of the tokens that Liquid Future was mentioning, and then just have BSC scan just put everything up. So last night I got everything up on the BSC scan, so you'll start seeing the logo on there. I think they said it takes 3 to 5 days for that to go through. So hopefully by Tuesday, when someone logs in to get the contract address or check the holders, they'll see all the social media platforms up there. Trust Wallet's 2,500 holders. So once we get the 2,500 holders, then we can get that uploaded. So it's all just time. I mean, sometimes I get so excited, I call up Anthony, like, hey, we got to do this. And he's like, hey, man, there's 200 holders. Like, so this is, I know it seems so exciting, especially since we're all involved, but it's so new. It's not even a week old.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very exciting time right now. Then I have a few other questions. Let's start with this one. What are the milestones we're looking at for short term and long term? Let's say next month, short term. By next month, what would you like to reach?
By next month, I mean, audit being done, marketing in place, taking off, with the marketing in place, and obviously starts growing, then, we see a growing community. Long term, I mean, endless. Like, you have no idea how big I think this idea can be. So really, really endless. If Anthony, you want to drop in and give him the idea of your cinema, movie trailer, this is how big we think this thing could be.
Well, I think, what we've been talking about, before, because obviously it's going to take an agency a little bit of time to kind of put something together. But, before 4th of July weekend, we want a pretty widespread marketing launch from a professional agency that's going to hit, everything, all at once. And when we think that happens, or when that happens, we think it's going to be very explosive. So we're looking at everything that we could prepare for building kind of our infrastructure, between AJ and I, in preparation for explosive growth. So we're willing to invest what we need to in order to kind of get the kind of marketing campaign that we think is going to get the traction that's going to kind of take this, to new heights, and pretty quick. So that's why we want to make sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row. We're not just, going out there and just blasting it, but we do want to do little smaller marketing campaigns, in the interim, to increase the holders and continue to take action, create some action. We're definitely looking for a company and a content creator who can create a cinematic movie trailer. This is definitely something that I'm super excited about when it comes to the marketing. So I came up with this idea, and our vision for this is we want I think it's a big call out, it's a big call out. And I think it's a very relevant message, to the crypto space, right? Because everything is to the moon. So we're looking for someone who can put that together with that. We can just, we pump that into the community. We think that's just going to attract a ton of people, in and of itself. So we love that idea.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds very hype. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, we need some of that too. We need
yeah, for sure. I think it's very important. You need the recognition. You need to get out there. You need to be seen. I really love the passion you have about the project. You can really see it. The light in your eyes pops when you start talking about the cinematic you thought about or came up with.
Well, look, that was the biggest thing that we really wanted to get across with this. I mean, this is obviously very preliminary, in terms of just, dropping the invite quietly to, 8 people that have been in the community, which was like, close to 20% of the community itself, and, we said, okay, whoever's going to make it's going to make it. If not, like, there will be more of these things, but our whole thing was transparency and making sure that we're obviously being, authentic with, what we want to do here in terms of this project, and to ourselves, and letting, okay, whoever shows up on this, they're going to, I think, get a pretty good sensibility about who we are, what we're looking to do, and that we really are excited and we really have a belief in the future of this project, and that, we're not going anywhere. We're completely invested in this wholeheartedly, and, we talk about it like every free minute of our day that we have, and it's exciting. And we think as this thing continues to pick up steam, because it's still so early right now, as this thing picks up steam and this community, in Telegram grows from 50 to 100 people to 200 people, and beyond, I think we're in for a pretty wild ride this summer. That's for sure.
Sounds exciting. Do you guys already have a vision on how you will build the community? Will there be giveaways? How will you What incentive will there be for people to join the community, do you think?
We were talking about that. We haven't finalized anything, but definitely more to come. We have some pretty cool ideas that we think will go a long way that are asset driven as well.
Could you give an example by any chance, or?
Some stuff we were throwing around was like, obviously like our focus is assets. So, what if it was like an Ethereum, something along those lines. So obviously we're small now, so I don't think we'll be dropping full Bitcoins in there after a week. But something along those lines.
That would be great marketing for sure.
Yeah, not yet, but I think I think we'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things I was thinking is like maybe it would put people at ease. How much money are you guys willing to put in from your own pockets?
As much as it takes, and that's honest. I don't look at it and say, hey, this thing has $8,000 in an investment wallet or $9,000 in an investment wallet. Like, wow, like that's nothing. And
Yep.
and we're not dipping into that to go into this next phase of marketing. Like we want to get this thing off the ground. I'm talking to Anthony. I'm like, hey, can you imagine like this thing just builds to ridiculous amounts of money being able to be invested every single week? And if we're doing that, then that's ridiculous amounts of money every single week being paid back.
Yeah,
So-
for sure.
So and look, our goal is to set these up a lot, and this will spin into way more than just 8 people getting involved, and obviously the entire community and other forums to get out in front of everyone. But we just kind of want to make sure we have like all of our ducks in order with everything along the project that we could, and then kind of get this out there, and we'll keep doing these. And I'm telling Anthony, like I would love to be in front of the community as much as possible. This is for sure our passion right now to get this going. And I know you don't sleep, and you see me. We're texting the same time in the chats. For sure.
It's 2 a.m. right now for me. So
Look, and then I leave my office at 9 o'clock. I get home at 10. And if you look at the chats, I'm texting you at 5 a.m. And Anthony, I call him the next morning, and he's like, "Hey, what time did you go to bed?" I'm like, "I didn't sleep, dude. I'm making $250,000 market cap, papers that I can start, dropping all over the place in social media." So, we got a long way to go, but I know that the work now being put in is gonna, it's gonna be huge. Like this is revolutionary for sure.
I catch myself answering questions in the Telegram at 6 a.m. while I should be sleeping, and it's not even my coin,
Yeah, and look, and that's what you're going to be part of the reason that this thing takes off because of that, and that's what we're talking about the community. So I love it. So we got to wrap it up because we got to call at 8, and then we'll set these up again for sure. I love it.
Yeah, just I just had one more small question. So I saw this was being recorded at the start, right?
Yeah, are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Are you planning on releasing this? Will you cut it to pieces?
Sure. Absolutely. That is our whole plan.
By when do you think that will be done, if I may ask?
I think we can get off here and I can drop it right in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, good. Then I can work on it for the frequently asked questions. I'll try and update it with some of the questions answered here, so
Awesome.
people don't have to keep asking the same questions in the Telegram, etc.
Yeah.
Well, although I will bring up one thing, because we were looking to make a couple edits, because that idea that we have for the cinematic commercial, we definitely didn't want that getting into the hands of anybody else straight away. So we do have someone that can do some video edits. I would be pretty sore if I saw another release something like that before we had the chance to get it created.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you drop it to me, I can actually cut it for you if you want me to.
There you go. Perfect.
You'll get it in the morning, my time, maybe.
There you go. All right, let the community know. I greatly appreciate it, guys. We'll talk soon. We'll be in the chat. We're around whenever you guys need us.
Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
Take care.